Sylvia, absolutely. We are staying dry at this point, which isn't good news, but I will tell you, looking forward into the future, many months into the future, well, it could be an El Nino year. So that's certainly a good thing because we would see that water supply go up. Until then, well, we're dealing with dry conditions and mild conditions, below average temperatures over the last couple of days, and that continued today. We're getting a look outside right now from our Mount Wilson camera. We're overlooking, well, the city right here, and you're going to see a little bit of low cloud cover out there. Other than that, we are staying clear into our inland spots. As we get a look at radar, you're going to see clear conditions at this point along the coast. Might not be the case. We're already seeing that fog roll in, so it doesn't look like it's showing up here, but I will tell you, already looking at patchy cloud cover along the coast, pushing its way into the basin into the overnight hours. 60s with a few 70s out there, 72 Riverside, 64 in downtown, 63 in Valencia, and 77 in Palmdale. Earlier today, we made it to 78. That was for downtown, so we were below average for this time of year. Record numbers 109. We didn't get anywhere close to that, and we weren't close to average. We're still keeping it below average for now, but that will eventually change. Over the next 24 hours, 60s with more 60s, and by the afternoon, mid-70s for you. So again, that's still below average, but still looking at warm temperatures. We can't call it cool, but we can call it cooler than where we're supposed to be. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, you're going to see upper 80s, keeping things that way through your Friday. And then by the weekend, 90s, upper 90s, flirting with the triple digits. And by Monday, 101. We're already talking triple digit temperatures, into your inland spots, so really heating up. So at this point, just got to enjoy the mild weather while it lasts. As we get a look at one more 5-day forecast for you this evening, we're taking you to the basin where we are dealing with low cloud cover for the next few days, but it should be mixing out by the afternoon hours, and it's going to warm up a little bit by the weekend. By next week, as we kick off your work week, we're expecting more sunshine with mid-80s in the forecast, so that's right where we should be for this time of year. Back to you, gals.
All right,
wow, and we're getting a look outside right now. No volcanoes in the forecast, but we are expecting a few changes. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
Future, pronouncing them is just a bear.
Right, the one in Mexico.
Probably a lot worse when you're near one, I presume. But.
Yeah, much more hazardous to your
They do have tough names to pronounce, but it's not very often that we have to talk about volcanoes.
Right.
So there we go.
And we're nice and clear here.
Yes, all the volcanoes are dormant.
Yes,
and we're just looking at clear conditions. Yeah, so it's actually looking pretty good out there. It's clear inland. It's actually a little foggier at the coast, and that's going to continue to be the case over the next few days. Overnight, morning, low clouds and fog. A little more sunshine by the afternoon. And as we head into the morning hours as well, temperature-wise, well, we're in the 60s and a few 70s out there. A little warmer for the high desert, 76, 64 in downtown, 62, and that's for San Pedro, and 64 in Laguna Beach. So earlier today, we made it to 78, and, well, average is 84, so we were below average for this time of year yet again. We're going to stay that way for now. You'll see over the next 24 hours, 60s, 60s, and by the afternoon, we're up into the mid-70s, so we're still a little below average by tomorrow afternoon. Santa Monica 69, Palmdale 94, so still toasty for the high desert, Riverside at 90, and Woodland Hills you're getting up to about 88 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So low pressure is starting to, well, take effect, and as it does, that onshore flow kicking in. We're looking at low cloud cover in the morning and overnight hours, but we are expecting some warming on the way as high pressure starts to expand over Southern California. We will see the effects as we head into, well, the weekend and next week. So we'll have your 5-day forecast in a minute, but as we take you through Futurecast, I want to show you by 3 a.m. we are looking at pretty, well, cloudy conditions along the coast, spanning into the basin there by 5:45, continuing to make a push inland, but doesn't look like inland spots really getting hit. Looks like the basin's really going to see the extent of the fog. By 10:30, still foggy along the coast. We cleared around, well, 10:30, 11 o'clock today. We're expecting maybe some clearing a little later in the day tomorrow. I would say around 11:30 or so, we'll see more of it. And by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, already looking at much clearer and not warmer, but warm, below average, but still not cool by any stretch of imagination. So for the valleys and the Inland Empire, you're going to see upper 80s and a little cooler by your Friday. By Saturday, we're warming up a little bit. We're flirting with 100 degrees by the time we hit Sunday. And by Monday, we're up to 101 degrees. So pretty impressive, up into the triple digits by next week. For the basin, 70s, eventually turning to 80s by the end of the weekend into next week. And finally, getting a look at one more 5-day forecast for you, taking you to the coast if you want to hit the beach this weekend or next week. Perhaps Monday. We're in the mid-70s. Until then, flirting with the 70s, getting there by Saturday and continuing to warm up through your Sunday into your Monday. Rick and Sylvia, back to you.
All right.
And had a quake of our own earlier today at 3.8 or 3.7 actually. And yes, we do want to talk about the forecast as well. We've got that extended forecast coming right up. For summer, yeah, we saw a bit of well, it wasn't really June when we are in July. We're almost in August, which is pretty unbelievable. It flew by so fast. But we did see a little bit of cloud cover earlier today, and that will continue to be the case into the overnight morning hours. We're also looking at, yes, below average temperatures as well. So we're going to break down the numbers for you, eventually expecting a warm up. Not at this point, not anytime too soon. As we get a look outside right now from our Mount Wilson camera, we're looking at a bit of cloud cover out there, mainly along the coast, just a bit of low cloud cover mixing out by the afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, mostly in the 60s though. 62 in downtown, 61 San Pedro, and Riverside, you're currently at 69 degrees. Earlier today, downtown, we made it to 78, average is 84. So we were a few degrees, more than a few degrees actually, below average, about 6 degrees to be exact, and record numbers 109. Didn't get anywhere close to that. Over the next 24 hours, 60s with more 60s by the afternoon. We're talking mid 70s. So yes, that is technically below average. We should be in the 80s in the basin for this time of year, but we're getting up to 75. That'll be for downtown. Anaheim 80, Riverside 90, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to the 80s, 88 degrees for you, a little warmer in Palmdale, getting up to the 90s. But low pressure is dipping into the forecast. So as a result, onshore flow is kicking up. We're seeing the low clouds and fog along the coast, and we are expecting a warmer forecast on the way. Eventually, high pressure is going to build its way into Southern California. You'll see that in your 5-day forecast as we head toward the second part of the weekend into next week. That's when temperatures really start to heat up. You'll see 80s eventually turning to 90s by Saturday. By Sunday, plenty of sunshine, and by Monday, hitting the triple digits. You'll see 101 degrees by Monday. As we get a look at your next 5-day forecast for the basin and for Orange County, mid 70s, eventually turning to upper 70s, eventually turning to 80s with more sunshine as we head into your Monday. And we're getting a look at one more 5-day forecast for you this evening. We're going to take you to the coast where we're looking at upper 60s, very similar to where we've been the last couple of days. Clearing wise, probably clearing around the 11 o'clock hour, maybe a little later, 11:30 tomorrow. Certainly by lunchtime, we are expecting more sunshine, at least at this point. By Saturday, few clouds, but still warm. By Sunday, a little warmer. And by Monday, we're in the mid 70s, looking at another gorgeous beach day in store. If only we can move that Monday toward the weekend, but maybe you can take a 3-day weekend. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
That'll be nice.